Good morning. Now let us discuss that is related to Telangana state. Like the union budget, every state has got its own budget. But this particular class is specifically, so we are discussing with respect to Telangana. And whatever the state you belong to, maybe Andhra Pradesh or maybe some other state, if you follow this one very clearly and carefully, it's also becomes easy for you to understand regarding other state budget also. Just like the central government, union budget, same procedure and proceedings will happen in the state legislature with respect to state budget. So before I go into the details of Telangana budget, first of all, let's understand a few points which you already know, but I would like to remind those points to you. Number one, we are going to discuss about the budget. The word budget is not mentioned in the constitution. The word budget is not mentioned in the constitution, number one. Number two, constitution has mentioned the concept called annual financial statement. Annual financial statement means every year with respect to the finances, a statement, a document has to be presented in the concerned legislature, maybe in the parliament, maybe in the concerned state legislatures. And the budget in the union at the union level is presented only in the Lok Sabha with the prior permission of the president. In the similar manner, the budget at the state level is presented only in the assembly. Only in the assembly, that too before the prior recommendation of the governors. Since we are going to discuss about the state budget, there may be a possibility that a question may be there with whose permission the budget will be introduced in the state legislature. Answer is the governor. And kindly remember, we have bicameral state legislatures. Wherever you have unicameral, there is no problem. Budget will be introduced only in the assembly because there is only one house. Even if you have two houses like Telangana and Andhra Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh, Bihar or some other states where you have the bicameral legislature, there budget must be introduced first only in the assembly. That too with the prior permission of the governor of the concerned state. So remaining all the things are same. Once the budget is introduced in the assembly with the prior permission of the governor, that will be discussed. Same thing, voting on demand for grants that will take place. Allocation of the time will be decided by the speaker. After the whole process is completed in the assembly, then the budget will be going to the governor in the case of the unicameral state legislature. And the governor will give the assent and that will become an act. Simple. In the case of bicameral legislature, after it is discussed and passed in the assembly, it will be forwarded to the legislative council. Just like the Rajya Sabha at the union level, legislative council at the state level has no power to vote upon the budget. Legislative council can hold and discuss the budget for not more than 14 days. Not more than 14 days. And if they want to give any suggestions, they are welcome. But once the 14 days are over, the bill will be coming back to the assembly, right? If there are any suggestions, whether the suggestions are accepted by the assembly or not, everything should be completed within 14 days. Once the 14 days are over, the bill is considered to be deemed to be accepted by both the houses of the state legislature, and the bill will be forwarded to the budget will be forwarded to the governor, and governor will give the assent. So that is considered to be the acceptance of the budget, and the government is permitted to draw the money and spend the money. If it is union government, the money is drawn from consolidated fund of India. state, as I told you during the discussion of the budget, every state has got its own consolidated fund of state. And from that particular fund, which is also part of the RBI, that is the state government's account in RBI, from there the money will be drawn and the money will be spent. Am I clear? Right. So now, so before I go into the details of the Telangana state budget, let me tell you a few points. So the points are like this. Budget means it is an anticipated, meaning we are expecting, not the exact one. Budget is an anticipated income and expenditure of the government. Budget is an anticipated revenue and expenditure. Revenue means income, right? Revenue and expenditure of the government for the forthcoming financial years. Forthcoming means the next one. So today we are in the year 2016 and 17 financial year. So if I am talking about the forthcoming budget means I am talking about the 2017 and 18. So for that particular year, what is the expected income? What is the expected, this expenditure? That is called the budget. Clear? But here what we are going to do, because this year budget is already done, examination is very, very near for Telangana, right? That is the reason why. So we are going to highlight the points that are present in the 2016 and 17 budget with respect to Telangana state alone. Am I clear? Yes. So obviously, every government will spend the money. Every government will collect the money. Collection means what? Taxes. Clear? You are collecting the taxes from the people. And where do you deposit those taxes? Again, those taxes will be deposited in the consolidated fund of the state. Money is drawn, money is deposited in the respective states consolidated fund. Am I clear? Now, point number one. Similarly, this year, I would like to touch one point. I was talking about the contingency fund of India, which is under the control of the president. President will be operating that only in the serious and emergency situations with the support of the finance minister. In the similar manner, every state has got its own contingency fund of India. Contingency means emergency. That money can be utilized during the times of the floods, these earthquakes or, like tsunamis or something, right? And kindly remember that contingency fund of the state is kept under the control of the governor, president, governor. Please remember these points. Now, let's come to the exact subject. Exact subject, that is Telangana state budget for the year 2016 and 2017. Clear? This is already into operation. So now we'll try to look into the highlights of this particular year's budget. Now, so when it comes to the, finance minister of a state will always play a crucial role with respect to the finances of the concerned state. Maybe for spending, maybe for, earning. That is the reason why the role of the finance minister is always crucial. And for Telangana state, the finance minister is Mr. Itala Rajender. Clear? I think you must be aware of this. You must be aware of this. Please remember this name. Now, so what shall we do is that let me straight away open the document that is related to Telangana state, and we'll try to look into the highlights of this. Kindly remember, in every budget, lots of allocations will be there. How much money you are spending for this irrigation? How much money you have allocated for the schemes like this mission Bhagirath, like you are allocating for SCs, How much money for STs and backward classes, minorities? Special schemes, if any. Plus, from where you are trying to earn money. So, what is the biggest source of income for the state? I am talking about Telangana. I am talking about Telangana. So, we'll try to see from where Telangana state is getting lots of revenue, which is a very, this is a possible question. Clear? Which is the biggest source of income for Telangana state in the examination may be a question. During that time, your answer is sales tax. So from sales tax, you are earning the highest, this money, right? So let's look into this. Let me go into the details of this one. Let me open the document. Please have a look at this. Look at this. The finance minister of Telangana is Mr. Itala Rajender. And the budget was presented in the assembly by the finance minister. All right. And definitely what happened? He might have taken the permission of the governor of the concerned state. And obviously only after that, the budget is presented. And it was presented on March 14th, 2016. Clear? 2016. And kindly remember, our financial year begins on April 1st, right? So these things you know. So when it comes to the budget highlights, the gross state domestic product of Telangana for the year 2016 and 17 is estimated to be rupees 6,70,756 crores. And this is 15% more than the revised estimate for the year 2015 and 16. Is it okay? Let me not go into the complete fundamentals of this subject, but I would like to say something by keeping this some of your this I can understand that you want to know what is this estimate and the revised estimate. When you make the budget, you are making the budget for the forthcoming financial year and you are anticipating probably so much of money we need to spend for various schemes. We, in the sense, government will anticipate. The finance minister will play the crucial role. So anticipation in the sense, for irrigation, approximately how much, for medical care, how much approximately, for education, how much, for housing, how much, for, this is schemes like Mission Kakatiya, how much, you are anticipating. You cannot anticipate the exact amount. You cannot anticipate the exact amount. So over a period of time, maybe after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, before the completion of the financial year, at any time, so there is a possibility of the change. If I say 1 lakh crores exactly, that 1 lakh crores may be higher or lower. That is the reason why budget is always anticipation. But as the months are going on, whatever we have estimated, that will be revised. Revised in the sense that will be re-looked into. That is the reason why for some projects you will always say that the money is not sufficient. Why the money is not sufficient? Already you have anticipated something when you prepare the budget, when you start preparation of the budget. But why after 6 months you are saying the allocated money is not sufficient? Because of the various changes that are taking place in the economy and the prices of the commodities will vary. The price of the diesel will vary, the price of the cement, sand and other raw material will vary. Then what will happen? In accordance to that, you need to modify, you need to revise your budget. You need to revise your estimates. That was the estimation. anticipation. Now you are revising that estimations. That's the reason why the states are supposed to allocate more money. Am I clear? That is the reason why at the end of the financial year, we look more towards the revised estimates than the estimates. We look more towards the revised estimates and which are very close to the actual spending. Revised estimates are always closer to the actual spending. That is the reason why revised estimates will be taken into consideration before you start making the budget for the another forthcoming financial year. Am I clear? That is the reason why whenever I say it has been increased by some percentage, I am looking at the revised estimates which took place recently, not the estimates that took place before you introduce the budget. Clear? Getting it? Now, now look at this. Okay, so this is the gross state domestic product. You are already aware what is the GDP. That is gross domestic product. GDP is calculated for the nation, and if you want to calculate exclusively for a state, that is called gross state domestic product. It is called GDP. At the state level, it is called GSDP. Clear? Hope you are following this one. I am highlighting this. You please have a look at this. You please read this once. Now, only for your understanding, what is this GSDP? Please look at this. It's a defined as a measure in monetary terms, meaning you are calculating in money. Calculating in money, right? Of the volume of all goods and services produced. It's in the monetary terms, and you're talking about the volume of all the goods and services produced within the boundaries of the state. I am not going beyond my state, right? So we are there within the boundaries of the state, any state, please. And the definition is common for all the states. All the goods and services produced within the boundaries of the state during a given period of time. During a given period of time, that period is generally 1 year, 1 financial year, and it is accounted without duplication. If you duplicate, what happens? You are adding the same thing again and again. That will increase your GDP, and that is not the realistic figure. That's the reason why definition is very, very clear. You are not accounting any duplication. Am I clear? Look at this. Next one. I am going further. Total expenditure for the year 2016 and 17 is estimated. Hope you are following this. I think now you are clear with the word. This is estimation. It is estimated to be 1,30,416 crores. Am I clear? Total expenditure for the total expenditure means what? Various schemes you have. I'll show you certain schemes after some time. And it is expected to be 1,30,416 crores. Clear? And look at this. This is an increase of 30.3% increase over the revised estimate of 2015 and 16. Meaning when compared to the last year, it has been increased by 30.3%. It's a huge one. It's a new state. People have many aspirations. So in order to meet those aspirations, government must function very effectively. For that reason, in hand, and the money will be ready only when it is included in the budget and passed in the form of the budget. so that you will not have any problems for spending for the development of the state. Am I clear? Some people will ask every time, why are you increasing the expenditure? You need to increase the expenditure because your population is increasing, your aspirations are increasing, demands of the people are increasing, new health problems are coming into picture. You need to enhance your educational standards. You need to enhance your infrastructure. You need to give the this employment, provide employment opportunities for the people. That is the reason why expenditure will always increase. Am I clear? That's the reason why, at least by some percentage, when compared to the last year, there should be an increase in the budget. Am I clear? Very, very important. Kindly remember, without spending money, development is not possible. Okay. Next, look at this. Look at this. Total receipts. Total receipts, meaning what you're earning. Total receipts, excluding borrowings. Meaning, in budget, what happens if you borrow also, that will become the part of receipt. Receipt means the money is coming to you. Clear? The total receipt, excluding borrowings for the year 2016 and 17, estimated to be rupees 1,04,849 crores. And this is an increase of 31.3% over the revised estimates of 2015 and 16. Okay, so now you know the total expenditure estimated, and you know the total receipts excluding borrowings that was estimated. Clear? In both expenditure and income, there is an estimation of increase. Clear? Now, revenue surplus for the next financial year is targeted at the 3,718 crores. Clear? Otherwise, that is considered to be 0.55% of the GSDP. Clear? Please look at the point. Anyway, I'll share this document with you after some time. Right? Now, fiscal deficit is targeted at 23,467 crores. And the primary deficit is targeted at rupees 15,761 crores. Please look at the percentages also. That is calculated, percentage is calculated, this out of this GSDP. Look at this. Increase in allocation, decrease in allocation. Look at this. Allocation means what? Yeah. So allocation in the sense you are allocating or earmarking some money for a particular scheme. All right. This happens every year. Say, for example, for irrigation, agriculture, for education, all these things. So you need to keep on spending the money and you cannot stop spending the money for that. But sometimes what happens for certain areas, the money that is allocated will be more. The money that is allocated will be more. And for some other areas, the money will be allocated that is less. Clear? Meaning is simple. Either you are increasing or you are decreasing. See, for Telengana state, how much, what are the schemes where the allocation has increased and where the allocation has decreased? Clear? Now, look at this. Look at this now. Departments of irrigation increase in the allocation, school education, social welfare, roads and bridges, medicine and public health saw increase in the allocations for the year 2016 and 17. Right? Whatever you are looking at the screen, every area is important. Obviously, you need to increase. So when it comes to decrease in allocation, on the other hand, the Department of Rural Development witnessed a 5.8% decrease in its allocation. So obviously, what will happen? So if you decrease the allocation, this Department of Rural Development definitely is not happy, but the government will have its own reasons, right? Look at this. For irrigation, 24,132 crores to be spent in the state. This is an increase of 169%. Right? Obviously, you need to allocate the money for, these schemes like Mission Bhagirath, Clear Mission Kakatiya. And for all these things, you need to spend more money. That's the reason why for irrigation, it went beyond 100%. It's an increase of 169% when it compared to last year's. Clear? Housing, 2 lakh bedroom houses to be built for eligible people. You just look at in your area whether it is happening or not. Yes, it started in Hyderabad, right? And look at your own district. Definitely, so this must be happening, right? So 2 lakh, how many? 2 lakh 2-bedroom houses. So the government is committed to make the people to live happily. Otherwise, single room, single bedroom, it becomes very difficult for a family. So this is a fantastic idea on the part of the government, and the government itself wants to construct these buildings, that is construct the 2-bedroom houses and allocate it to the poor. Next, Mission Bhagirath. Look at this. This scheme is to provide drinking water supply to all the houses in the state. You are already aware of this scheme. Let me not go into the details, but I have some information with respect to Mission Bhagirath. I'll share that information with you after some time. And when it comes to investment, there is a proposal to set up 3 aerospace parks in the state. Second phase of technology hub to be launched to support technology startups, right? So this is the reason why our IT minister is moving around and is trying to attract the investments in Telangana. And recently, if you remember this one, Telangana stood at the top position as far as the ease of doing business is concerned. Right? Hope you remember. I was discussing this point during our current affairs session. Telangana is at number 1 position with respect to ease of doing the business, meaning starting the business, operating the business, closing the business. All the procedures are very, very, this is simple, and it will not consume lots of time. You need not go to, this various departments for the clearances. So the more flexibility you have for the operation of the business, you are promoting the, this industrial sector in industries in that state. Clear? And with respect to this one, so many reforms were introduced by the central government, and the central government asked the states to implement these reforms, and Telangana is one of the states. That state, implemented majority of the reforms. More than 75% of the reforms were introduced by, implemented by Telangana state, and that implementation is a very, very effective implementation. Andhra Pradesh also the same thing happened. That's the reason why the Telugu-speaking states, Telangana state, Andhra Pradesh, both stood at the top place. Am I clear? That is possible only with the committed work of the government. Am I clear? Very, 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 very important. Next, once again, right. Next, look at this. If you look at the past, this 10 years, that is 2005 to 2015, with respect to, till the year 2014, as you all know, it is a united Andhra Pradesh. But it's a comparison. Over these 10 years, agriculture witnessed a marginal increase in the growth, whereas growth in the manufacturing and service sector saw a decline. It may be a possible question for you in the examination for the 10 years, for a decade. Which sector witnessed a marginal increase, not drastic, it's a marginal increase in the growth rate? Answer is agriculture sector. And what are the sectors that there was a decline? Answer is manufacturing sector and also service sectors. Am I clear? You need to be so careful, attentive. Next, agriculture growth increased from 1.8% to 1.9%. So it's a marginal, right? It's a marginal, but there is a slight increase, very, very slight. 1.8 to 1.9. But what is it you are comparing? Look at the screen. You are comparing, out of 10 years, you are comparing second 5 years with the first 5 years. Meaning from 2005 to 2010 and 2010 to 2015, marginal increase in the growth rate of what? Agriculture. Agriculture. All right. Look at the next point I'm highlighting. Please remember these points. I'll share this document later. Growth rate in the manufacturing sector decreased from, look at this, manufacturing sector decreased from 10.3% to 1.4%. Obviously, the finance minister of Telengana state is worried. Obviously, he will try to focus more on this. You need to strengthen your manufacturing sector because there is a decline. Services sector growth rate decreased from 10.8% to 8.6%. Meaning, if you look at the last 10 years, there's a slight, very slight increase, very marginal increase only in the agriculture. But there's a drastic fall, drastic decline in both manufacturing and also service sectors. Am I clear? Look at this. Services is the largest component of the state's economy, constituting 63% of the economy, followed by manufacturing and agriculture, constituting 24% and 13% of the economy respectively. Please remember these percentages. Which is the largest component in the state's economy? Answer is the services. How much is this? 63%. And second largest is manufacturing, followed by agriculture. How much is the percentage for manufacturing? 24%. And the agriculture component in the state's economy is 13%. Am I clear? Very, very, very important. Then obviously, if you look at these percentages, the growth rate should also be more. Growth rate should be more even in the services sector, but it was decreased. It was decreased in the past 10 years. So now you need to focus on the development of this. Am I clear? Very, very important. Look at this. Next, the agriculture sector employed 57% of the state's population. Look at this. Providing highest, this employment. Answer is agriculture, 57%. Services is providing 32%. And manufacturing is provided 11%. Am I clear? You need to follow all the points very clearly and very keenly. So this is the place where you need to remember. Okay, now look at this. Budget estimates for the year 2016 and 17. The total expenditure of 2016 and 17 is to be 1,30,416 crores. The revised estimates for the total expenditure of the 2015 and 16 was 1,62 crores, which is considered to be an increase by 15,627 crores. Is that okay? So meaning, which is 13.5% more. Clear? Very, very important. So which is 13.5%, and this is considered to be less than the budget target of 2015 and 16. You follow this point very, 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 very clearly. Is that okay? The total expenditure for 2016 and 17 is the 1,30,000. And the revised estimate of the total expenditure for last year, I am talking about last year, was the 2015 and 16. Clear? Was 1,62 crores, and that is considered to be less than the budgeted target of 2015 and 16. They spent 15,627 crores last year when compared to the actual spending. Meaning, last year, the proposed expenditure, estimated expenditure, was not spent completely. Was not spent completely. Why? That's the point. Why? That's the point. Look at this. This reflects a decrease in revenue received by the government in 2015 and 16. Right? Important. Hope you understood me, what I said now. You are estimating something for spending, but you are not spending. Are you saving? Answer may not be no. Just because I have estimated, I have some estimated expenditure, if I want to spend money, I need to earn money. Yes or no? Yes or no? I am talking about 2015 and 16. When it comes to spending, spending has been reduced very drastically. Why? I am telling you that reason. If I want to spend, I have to earn. Both spending and earning must happen simultaneously. That is the budget. What is the definition of the budget? It is the anticipated income and expenditure. Income and expenditure of the government for the forthcoming financial year. In the complete year, you need to monitor how much you are getting, how much you are spending, and you need to maintain the balance. And you need to maintain the balance. And if you are receiving less, how can you spend more? So this is called the gap. There is a gap between revenue and the expenditure. And if you are not achieving the target what you have expected to receive, you also cannot achieve the target of the spending. This is called the deficit. This will become the budget deficit. Right? And if you still spend, it will be a huge burden on the government. It will be a huge burden on the government. Am I clear? That is the reason why last year, if you compare this one, right, there is a gap. There's a meaning is simple. There's a gap between expenditure and income, meaning government did not reach the this estimated revenue, as a tax collection was low when compared to the estimation. Government was forced to spend less money than the estimated money. Yes. Look at this. Right? You can read this. So it was less than the budget target. So obviously it reflects a decrease in the revenue received by the government in the year 2015 and 16. If you follow this one carefully and clearly, you can follow central government budget, you can follow any state government budget. That's the reason why I asked even the APPSC aspirants to attend this, so that when we discuss the budget that is related to Andhra Pradesh, it becomes easy for you to understand, because most of the components you are understanding now, right? Look at this. The expenditure in the year 2016 and 17, you have to be very careful with the years, right? Whether I'm talking about 2016 and 17, or I'm talking about the previous years, you have to be very clear. So the total expenditure for the year 2016 and 17 proposed to be met through receipts other than the borrowings of rupees 1,04,849 crores and borrowings of rupees 25,580 crores. Clear? What do you mean by this? You are earning through taxation, right? You are getting some money, that is 1,04,849 crores, plus you are also going for the borrowings. Clear? In order to meet your target for expenditure, in order to complete the projects in time, you need money. If you don't have sufficient money, go for the borrowings, right? Just like, at the individual level, how we borrow, the government will also borrow. Clear? And that borrowings are the rupees 25,580 crores. And if it happens completely, then you can meet the total expenditure. Similarly, total receipts for the year 2016 and 17 other than borrowings are expected to be 31.3% higher than the revised estimates of 2015 and 16. So this point we already saw this. Now look at this. 2016 and 17, look at this. Government expenditure can be divided into capital expenditure, which will affect the assets and liabilities of the state, and revenue expenditure, which includes the rest of expenses. How many types of expenditure is there? Capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure. Right. Now, I'll just give you one example. Let's try to understand. We are talking about the expenditure. Capital, revenue. Listen carefully. I'll try to cite one example, so that when you look at some expenditure, then you can, imagine whether it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditures. Both are expenditures. Both are expenditure. You are spending the money. Generally, what happens when I say capital expenditure, you are spending the money on assets. Asset means you are purchasing something, right? How you are purchasing? You are purchasing by spending money. You are purchasing by spending money. So that is called, this expenditure. And if you are purchasing those assets, that is called capital expenditure. So tomorrow at any point of time, you can sell it out. And again, you can get back your money. But some products will give you more money in future, and some products may be giving you less money in future. Yes or no? Imagine you are purchasing gold. You are purchasing gold, that will become your asset. There is a capital expenditure. And you are spending money. So maybe after 1, 2, 3, 4 years or 10 years, the rate of the gold may be doubled. And if you sell that gold during the time, you'll be earning more money. Am I clear? Capital expenditure. I'll just try to this give you one simple example with respect to this capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure. So you purchase a vehicle. You purchase a vehicle, say four wheeler, some car, something, and you have spent 10 lakhs on that, and you got it. It's a capital expenditure you're spending. But unlike gold, for these four wheeler vehicles, what happens? Every year there will be a depreciation because you are using it. The maintenance charges will be there. This you need to spend money for the purpose of the this fuel or maintenance. This sometimes you will go for the painting. So you keep on spending the money on that for the maintenance purpose. Am I clear? For the maintenance purpose, you'll be spending on this. And for such these type of items, the value will be depreciated. Depreciate means reduced. It will be reduced year by year. And if you want to sell that one for a proper rate, you need to paint it, you need to maintain it, maintain the engine, clear, and you need to keep in the proper condition. And if you are going for the painting, if you are maintaining the engine, you are spending the money. That spending money is nothing but the revenue expenditure. Meaning, in order to get some revenue out of your expenditure, you are spending. If you don't maintain that vehicle, and that vehicle will be rusted out over a period of time, and who will purchase it? So that you need to sell it for the for a scrappers. Hope you are getting this. That is the reason why in the beginning when I spend money for gold, I can say so that is a capital expenditure. In the beginning, if I purchase a vehicle, four-wheeler vehicle by spending 10 lakhs, that's a capital expenditure. But after that, whatever I'm spending for the maintenance of engine, painting, or something else, that is a revenue expenditure, because whatever the expenditure I'm spending on that vehicle is for the purpose of maintenance. For the purpose of the maintenance, that is not increasing the value of my vehicle. That is not increasing the value of my vehicle. Am I clear? But hope you're getting this. This is the difference between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Let me add one more point. Let me add one more point here. You purchased a vehicle and this 3-4 years are over. You purchased at 10 lakhs, the value will become this is 7 lakhs. But if you want to earn the more money, then what will happen? Instead of going for the maintenance of this engine, you will replace the engines, and you will get a new engine and you will fit the new engine. That spending on new engine will become the capital expenditure, since it is a very, very brand new one. Once you fix it, you are selling it out and you are getting more money. That's the reason why it becomes very difficult to differentiate between the capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure until and unless you have the complete clarity on that. If it is gold, I can say it's the capital expenditure. If I'm going for maintenance of something, that is a revenue expenditure. Right? So getting it? Very, 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 very important. So this is how please differentiate between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Hope you're getting. Governments must go for both. Look at this. Total capital expenditure is proposed to be rupees 33,209 crores, which is an increase of 59.6% over the revised estimates of 2015 and 16. This includes the expenditure which leads to the creation of the assets. And total revenue expenditure for 16 and 17 is proposed to be 97,206 crores, which is an increase of the 22.7% over the revised estimates of 2015 and 16. Please tell me which is the more. Is it capital expenditure or revenue expenditure? Meaning for the purpose of maintenance, you are spending more. Clear? This is a government. You're not a private company here. You need to do it. Which is more? Revenue expenditure is more because it is a 97,206 crores. And when it comes to capital expenditure, 33,209 crores. In both, there is an increase when compared to the last year. But for the examination point of view, please remember which is more. It is a revenue expenditure that is more. Am I clear? Look at this. This expenditure includes payments of the salaries, administration of government programs, and etc. All these things will come into picture. Look at this. The increase in capital expenditure in 2016 and 17 is driven by an increased spending on building capital assets related to irrigation, such as dams. So many dams are coming up, right? Look at this allocation. 7,861 crores to be spent on Palamoru lift irrigation project. 6,286 crores to be spent on Kaleshwaram project. For the purpose of allocation, SCs 7,122 crores, which is an increase of 59.6% over 2015 and 16. For STs, there is an increase of 48.7% when compared to last year, and it is 3,752 crores. For backward classes, 2,538 crores. It's an increase of 32% when compared to last year. Getting it? You are allocating for the welfare of the SCs, STs, and also for backward classes. Clear? Look at this. Look at this. Land has been allocated for the construction of educational study circles in 5 backward districts. All the governments are committed, meaning they are trying their best. So to provide better educational facilities, right? And when it comes to Telengana state, it is allocating land for the construction of the educational study circles. Otherwise, people from the district areas, people from these mandals and villages, they may not be coming to the larger cities for the purpose of the education or for the purpose of these competitive examinations. So they can stay back and they can nicely prepare over there. And at the same time, the government has to maintain the quality of the education. So with respect to minorities, 1,204 crores have been allocated. Again, it's an increase. Scholarship worth of 25 crores will be provided for the students studying overseas. SC, ST, and BC hostels to be converted into residential schools in a phased manner. It takes time, but it's a good idea for the government. So instead of calling them hostels, they will be converted to residential schools. Maintenance of sanitation schools to be entrusted to respective gram panchayats. It's a very, very, very important one. So this is an area where most of the states are neglecting. Clear? There is no proper maintenance of the sanitation in the schools. That is the reason why, there are so many dropouts, especially for the girl children. Clear? And the responsibility has been entrusted to the gram panchayat. And of course, in all the states, it is a responsibility of the gram panchayats only. But how effectively you are doing, that is important for, for the success of this program. Health cards will be provided to all the farmers in the state to facilitate judicious use of fertilizers and improve soil productivity. Right? Next. 4,250 crores to be spent on relieving debt of farmers. It's a good move. Unfortunately, lots of farmers have committed suicides. It's a very, very sad thing. And in order to bring them out of these debts, the government has decided to spend 4,250 crores. Rural development, as we have seen, it has reduced. Allocation has been reduced from 6,736 crores to 6,345 crores. It's a reduction of 5.8%, minus 5.8%, right? For Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, for the proper implementation of that, 2,352 crores will be spent on this. MNREGA is a central scheme, and where the money will be spent by both central government and state government at the rate of 80 is to 20%, 80% by central government and 20% by the state government. And with respect to some schemes like, Asara pension for old, disabled, HIV patients, widows, and BD workers, the amount that was allocated is 2,878 crores. Clear? Asara pensions, you might have heard about this. 600 crores to be spent on replacement and purchase of medical equipments in hospitals. In addition, 316 crores to be spent on diagnostic equipments, beds, etc. So today, if you look at the states, there are so many government hospitals. There are so many government hospitals, so that are all in very, very bad condition. Even the beds are also not good. Equipment is not good. But there is no other go for the poor people except to go to the government hospitals. And these are the places where you expect the quality. Unfortunately, the quality is absolutely not good. Not just in Telangana, and nowhere in the country, nowhere in any state in India, the quality is not at all good. That's the reason why the government is focusing more on this. Sometimes you will see, is it not? Sometimes, during certain seasons, the more diseases will come up. People will keep on rushing to these government hospitals. No beds, still you need to treat them, right? And you are asking those patients to sleep on the floors, meaning proper facilities are not there. So diagnostic centers are also not there, right? So meaning, so they don't have the proper, this equipments for going for this diagnostics. That is the reason why, this additional money is being spent for providing better facilities. Clear? Next. Next. 4 new multi-speciality hospitals to be constructed in Hyderabad. This 2-bedroom housing scheme. The government has proposed to build 2 lakh 2-bedroom houses for eligible poor in the state. Already it's happening. Okay. In some places, some people are complaining, but even then, this the scheme is continuing, and the people are already entering into, this already entered into their respective allocated 2-bedroom houses. Out of these 2 lakhs, 1 lakh will be built within GHMC, and the rest will be built in the rural areas. GHMC means Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. The entire cost of the project will be met through the borrowings. The government will borrow, right? From where? From Telangana Housing Corporation Limited, and from the financial institutions for which the government will provide the guarantee. Is that okay? Right? So the borrowings will be done by Telangana Housing Corporation Limited. It will be taking from the financial institutions, and you need to provide the guarantee, and that guarantee will be provided by Telangana state government. Am I clear? Mission Bhagirath. Mission Bhagirath, one of the fantastic schemes. One of the fantastic schemes, Mission Bhagirath, and this particular scheme is considered to be the brainchild of the Chief Minister of Telangana. If you look at the background of Mr. KCR, the present Chief Minister of Telangana, so he has a very long experience in politics. And he developed from a small stage And he looked into various problems that are being faced by the people when he was there as an MLA, when he was there as a member of the parliament. So since the times, so he started developing certain ideas in his brain. And one of the ideas is to provide drinking water to all the families. Every family has to, receive the drinking water. Otherwise, look at most of the states, rather most of the countries in the world. So many people, they walk miles to get the waters. So their quality time is getting wasted. If you're spending a lot of time only for going and getting the water, which is the most important for our survival, then what about the quality time that you will be spending for the productivity? That is the reason why, in order to increase the productivity of the state, in order to make the people to take part in the productivity of the state, first of all, you need to take care of their basic requirements. One of the basic requirements is that drinking water. Supply water to their house. Obviously, you are saving lots of time for them. And it's not at all easy. It's a very Herculean task. It's a very Herculean task. Look at the villages that are present in the state, and how can you provide so much of water? But still, it can be done if the government is really committed. It is not just providing one time, you need to maintain this supply every time. That is the reason why the government is working, and working. So it's planning for so many projects. Right? So there is no doubt about that. And these are the schemes which are not just meant for, announcements. And you need to implement it. Already the Prime Minister came and inaugurated, and he appreciated the Chief Minister. And it's not just in one village, and it should spread across. It takes time, it spread across. But if the government works like this, and maybe even in the future also, right? So you need to maintain this. Clear? If there is any breakage for this very sensitive projects, the whole system will collapse. That is the reason why it is not just a one-time providing. You need to supply it. You need to supply it on a day-to-day basis. Am I clear? That right? This is the brainchild of Mr. KCR. Look at this. Okay. The scheme aims to provide piped drinking water supply to all the houses in the state. Look at this. The Prime Minister of India launched Mission Bhagirath with an objective to provide safe drinking water to all. The Prime Minister came here, yes. The scheme is a brainchild of Telengana Chief Minister, Mr. KCR, that is K. Chandrasekhar Rao. It was launched by the state government at Kumatibanda village. That's in Gajwal, in the Medak district of Telangana. You must be knowing this, Kumatibanda village. Mission Bhagirath is a water grid project that aims to provide safe drinking water to all, even to the remotest places in Telangana. And the objective, what is the objective of this? To provide, look at this, to provide 100 liters of clean drinking water to per person in rural areas, households, and 150 liters per person in the urban households. And financing of the project will be met through the borrowings of the Telangana Drinking Water Supply Corporation Limited. That Telangana Drinking Water Supply Corporation, that will be borrowing the money from the financial institutions. Again, for that, guarantee will be provided by, the state government. Right? Let's go further. Public and police safety. 2,225 crores to be spent on CCTVs, clear closed circuit televisions, surveillance in Hyderabad. And for the people who are involved in that particular activity, for their staff, 30% incentives on the basic salary will be provided, right? And for the traffic police who are involved in the traffic regulations. CCTV, they are playing very, very crucial role now. So this is how you need to utilize that technology. Total tax revenue is estimated to be 54,870 crores. And when it comes to tax revenue, have a look at this. Sales tax is the largest component of the tax revenue. Please remember this. Which is the largest source of income? Answer is the sales tax. It is levied on the sale of goods in the state and is expected to generate 42,073 crores in 2016 and 17, and it is considered to be an increase by 29% when compared to last year. And the government is expected to generate 4,543 crores to the state excess duty on the production of various forms of alcohol, and again it is an increase by 7%. 7%. Okay. Second one is a non-tax revenue. The government is estimated to generate 10,900 crores through sale of land and property, which the government is doing. The government has estimated to generate 2,688 crores through mining. Again, it's an increase by 9.5% when compared to last year. In addition, the government is estimated to receive 1,701 crores through interest receipts on the loans provided. Government has provided loans and it is also receiving the interest, and that will be estimated to be 1,701 crores. Look at this. Our revenue is like this. Sales tax revenue are getting 76.7%, highest. State excise, stamps and registration, tax on vehicles. So that's the reason whenever the stamp duty is increasing, government is always trying to increase its income. Am I clear? All right. So that's all about this Telengana budget. So this document I'll be sharing with you within a very short period of time. You just go through this once, right? And thank you so much for being with me this morning for this particular subject. Good luck.